So apparently VR is dead. I read it on the internet. VR is dead, or at least it's dying. Well, it's been a good year and a half. See you, VR. That's good stuff. Over the past few months, I've seen quite a few of these little articles. They're written by, I would probably just call them like lightweight tech bloggers. They really just don't have any clue about the industry, as is evident by the fact that they think that this particular Pokemon Go advertisement is a gathering of Pokemon Go players. Anyway, whatever. Most of these articles are written by people that really just don't know about the industry. They can write a catchy title and they can copy and paste some data that they see on some sites, but really, they just don't have a clue. While I'm not disregarding all of the data that's on posts like this, for the most part, I kind of disregard these posts as soon as I see evidence that they just don't really have a tie to the industry. So this video is not really talking about anything in this post. This is just an example. The other types of videos that I've seen come from people who were basically completely hyped up for the year of VR. And they were so excited, and a year and a half later, they're looking around and they don't see what they had come to expect whenever, things were coming out and everybody was super excited for everything. So my question to you, authors of those posts, what were you expecting? Really? What were you thinking a year and a half ago? What did you think was going to be here at this point? Now, I'm not saying that those people are completely unfounded, okay? There is a severe deficit of very high quality VR content right now. There are a few really awesome shining gems, but for the most part, I think we can all agree that as of right now, there's not a huge amount of content to the level that we were hoping for. I'll admit that even I, at this point, was hoping for a few more titles that had a bit more polish. I am in no way disillusioned to the concept of VR and what it will be, but I will admit a little bit of content fatigue with what we have. I would like some more content that really blows the boundaries, and we hopefully will be getting that just around the corner with some of the big AAA titles finally coming out. Skyrim, Fallout, Doom, all those things are coming in just a few more months. So that issue aside, and honestly, I think that that's really the only true founded claim to VR is not meeting realistic expectations, because we should have a bit more content at this point. However, what I really think is spurring this is sort of a conditioning that society has been in over the past, let's say, decade, due to some other trends. Recent history has things like tablets and smartphones coming out and then just basically materializing overnight in everybody's hands. When Apple pulled the iPhone out, the appeal was instantly obvious. Everybody knew that this was going to be amazing. It filled a void that we just didn't have at that point. Like the old, typical cell phones at that point just didn't cut it. This was something absolutely game-changing. It changed essentially the face of the world. I mean, now everybody's walking around, with their cell phone in their hand. So it literally changed the world. Some things good, some things not so great, but that's not what we're talking about here. And because of the cell phone contract providers at that time, we were able to get a amazing device, something that we've never ever had on our hands before, for a actually really remarkably low price. Standard cost for an iPhone was like $500 full retail. However, you could get one for about $200 with a 2-year contract, which everybody had for all the cell phone companies at that point. Anyway, so it didn't matter if it was a 2-year contract because you were already on it. So $200 for something that would allow you to do things that you could never do before. In the first year alone, 1.39 million iPhones were sold. And of course, other manufacturers jumped on board, and just 4 years later, a smartphone was in the hands of like 35% of the US adult. Once again, arguably, Apple started the tablet craze as well back in 2010 with the first iPad, and with kind of a rocky start, tablets took off, and prices just kept on getting lower and lower, and then we have the tablet scene that we have today. We have some tablets that are like $30. So things got adopted, things like really moved in both the tablet and the smartphone place. Both of these wildly successful products hit the market, and the public knew right away that this is going to be amazing. This is something that I need in my life. This is going to give me new functionality, or it's going to make things easier. It's going to give me entertainment in places that I didn't have it before, like on the bus, whenever I'm just on a standard commute. So it really opened up the doors for a lot of things that weren't possible before. Now let's look at virtual reality. Virtual reality, it opens up doors virtually. It lets you do things that you could never do before. Why is it different than these other technologies? It must be doomed, all of the tech bloggers say. Let's break this down. Number one, it's expensive. Very expensive, okay? For the HTC Vive or the Oculus, either one, you're looking at $1,500 to $2,000 to get set up with the computer and with the headset itself. That's a lot of money. Number 2, it requires space, and not an insignificant amount of space if you want to do some of the games. Number 3, it can be awkward, usually, and sometimes uncomfortable. And finally, number 4, and I truly believe that this is the actual why, for why this is not meeting the same expectations for what everybody was hyped about, and I think based off of other trends. VR is not new. Now hold on, let me clarify. By not new, I don't mean that we've already had VR, okay? Obviously, VR is a new product. However, it is not giving us anything new. While VR significantly enhances entertainment and it enhances our feelings of doing these things, it's not new. We're still playing the same types of games that we played before. We are still watching the same movies, although a lot more interesting thanks to the 3D aspect of it and the ways that we're able to move around and interact with things. It is a very new feeling. However, the content itself is not new. This is not replacing something, or this is not bringing a new form of something to the table. It is just expanding on what is already there. In some cases even, it is actually more enjoyable to play a flat screen version of a game than it is in VR. A few cases, but there have been some. So that, I believe, is the ultimate issue. VR is amazing, and it is. Okay, take my word for it if you don't have it. VR is absolutely astonishing. Every single person that I have put into that headset to demo it or for whatever, they are blown away by the experience. All right, what did you think?
That was crazy!
They come out of that thinking, wow, that was amazing. And then they take a step back and in often cases they're like, yeah, that was amazing, but $2,000, it's kind of heavy and I don't have the room for it, so I'd probably have to move. And I already have some games that I really like right now, so it's really cool, but I already have like kind of half of what this does. This just makes it a little bit better, so it's really not kind of worth the trade-off just yet. Never have I heard in all of the hundreds of people that I have demoed this device to that's like, that was okay. No, every single person this is amazing. I would love to play this more. And then they see the price, and that's the real deal breaker. So this is why I say that VR is not dying. It is far from dead. Like going with that metaphor of personification, it hasn't even learned how to run yet, okay? VR is still just taking its baby steps. We are still in the very early trends. History has shown us that this is a very, very common trend. Interestingly, the same trend that's happening right now with VR happened with the original PC. I'm talking about like 1981 IBM, right? That thing, whenever it first came out, was like $1,500, and nowadays that'd be like $5,000. And while the product was amazing, people couldn't afford it. There was no way. That was just too much money for something that didn't give them enough gain, because at the time, these computers really didn't do too much. Now, it took a while, however, other PC manufacturers started popping up, cloning the original IBM, making competition for it, causing the price to go down and down and down. Meanwhile, the overall quality of the devices kept on going up. They got faster, they got better, they got more capable of doing things that, the users wanted. Another interesting parallel is back then IBM tried to keep the content all to itself by introducing its micro-channel architecture. The public didn't want to have anything to do with that, and so ultimately that failed, but does that kind of sound familiar? Several years later, a new generation of PC came out, and adoption kept on a steady climb, but it was definitely not a quick adoption like we expect today. Just over the past few days, the Pimax 8K VR device has been funded with $4 million whenever they were hoping to get $200,000. Like, the demand is there, guys. It is coming. There are still manufacturers that are coming to market that are competing with Oculus, competing with Vive. They are all driving the price of VR down, just like in 1981, 82, 83, whenever all of these new computers started coming on. So if you're convinced that the end is nigh, and current trends or any of this data hasn't really sold you on it, let me give you one more piece of what I think is fairly critical data. Every single major company on the planet is investing heavily into AR and VR. Not for stuff that's coming out today or tomorrow, although obviously some of them are, but for the future, okay? This is where things are going. Everybody knows this, and so they're investing with the product now for what it will be several years from now. VR is not just for gaming, okay? It is not just the gaming industry that is driving the progression of VR. it is medical, it is car manufacturers. Like, there are so many things that just thrive off the ability to have this virtual collaboration. Like, it is... So gaming is actually just going to be a very small piece of what VR and AR is in 5 to 10 years from now. So calm down, take a second, and realize that things aren't going anywhere, guys. Like, this is... VR is going to be how things entertain us, how we work with our world in the near future, before we get into complete neural interfaces. But for now, we're going to have some things strapped to our faces that are a whole lot louder, a whole lot cheaper, and a whole lot better than what we have right now. So again, VR is not just the thing that is going to drive it. It's just the thing that pressed start. I'm going to start starting all my videos off with this. This came off so much easier for me. I don't know how this is going to look whenever I edit it, but this video was so much more fun to record, specifically because I had to do 8 takes for that initial shot. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. I'm done here. If you are interested in the channel itself and the future of it, stick around for a second. I'm going to talk just a moment about something that's kind of cool. But for all of you that are just here for the concept of VR dying, thank you for watching. If you like this video, please hit the like button below. If you didn't, hit the downvote button and tell me what I can do to make it better. And if you think I'm wrong, if you think VR is dead, drop me a comment and let me know why you think so. Okay, so for the people that are here, I don't know if you noticed this. However, check this out. If you're on my Discord, then you've already seen it. I drink and I know things, and a new logo. You really can't see it on there. Hold on. All right, check it out. I got stickers. So these are primarily, I'm going to be sending these out to my patrons. You guys don't know this yet, but I'm going to give you some of these somehow. I need to figure out the logistics, and I don't want to just send stickers, so I need to figure out something else that I can do as well. But anyway, my brother made this for me last month for my birthday. I turned 31 last month. Happy birthday to me! And he also made this cup for me that has my logo on it, and I drink and I know things. Love this. So much more fun to drink whiskey out of one that has that awesome logo. So I am very appreciative of him for this. He knew that my old logo was bad. I hated it, and it wasn't really a logo. It was just something I did in 10 minutes back whenever I didn't even know that I was going to be doing this stuff long term. And I just made a tea that I thought looked cool at the time. Turns out it looked like an IUD. Look it up if you don't know what that is. So anyway, this is a thing now. And I am going to be potentially, because a few people have asked for it, and I don't know what the real demand is, so I don't know if I should just get 1 or 2 and then send them to those people, or if there is a greater demand. But what do you think? Is this logo something that you would like to see on a shirt or a hoodie or a sticker or button or anything else along those lines, or cups? Let me know if that is something that you would actually want. Don't worry, you won't be hurt my feelings if it's a no. I totally understand. But let me know if it's worth the effort of going online and do some of these. I won't just sell a shirt with just this logo on it. I want to come up with some awesome t-shirt ideas and designs. So maybe even if there is enough demand for it, I may do a design contest. I don't know, or maybe just a slogan. So maybe it'll just be the logo and then a nice, VR related catch line or something. I don't know. So let me know what you guys think, and let me know what you think about this. This is an improvement, yeah? Pretty soon I'm going to be completely revamping all the sites, so don't be alarmed if you see everything changing fairly dramatically. I just need to do a few more things before I'm able to revamp everything. So I'm done here, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you all in the next video. Bye-bye.